hit that like and subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a video. That's gonna be a fun topic at hand, especially for, you know, the sites that I'm over here working on. It's always a fun time to talk about, you know, Twitch and their fuck-ups. I had to make sure I took notes on my little notebook to make sure that I had everything in tow. Because good God almighty, I was not prepared for all the bullshit that happened right in front of my eyes. I want to give Twitch the benefit of the doubt, but they're fucking around and finding out. For those of you that do not know what the hell happened over the course of the weekend over at TwitchCon, one, Sajam hosted a little competition for Street Fighter 6 over there. Ran amazingly. There's so many players and content creators that are just doing fucking amazing over there. If y'all haven't seen it, go watch that on YouTube. And that's the good things that I saw on TwitchCon. And that's just about it. The bad things overwhelm all of the good shit that was over there by a metric fuck ton. Number one being the whole Emiru situation over there. I'm sorry, but what the actual fuck? What was it that Jacksepticeye said? I would need to get my seeing glasses because I can't even begin to fathom the amount of bullshit that's happening on my timeline. Also happy she's okay. She is the farthest thing from okay. She may say she's okay, but she got a dude who wasn't even a part of TwitchCon strolls up to the event without even having paid to get in. No badge to say you got into the con. No badge to say, hey, yes, I paid to be here to see a whole bunch of people and content creators and support them and get a chance to meet them face to face and shake their hand or take a picture for them. Yeah, no, the guy didn't even get, like, the badge to go in for it. He just walked in, strolled past 3 other content creators' like, platform deals to go through the entire event, finds the meet and greet where Emiru was, walks right through, strolls up to her, gives her a big ol' hug and tries to kiss her in the middle of it, and security for TwitchCon specifically does nothing. The security guard that Emiru has for that whole event had to be the one to shove the motherfucker off of her just so that they could have, like, hey, get the fuck off of her. What the fuck are you doing? This is a meet and greet. Get out of here. TwitchCon says, okay, we're gonna, okay, you got your chance. Get the hell out of here. This was not what it was supposed to be. He walked, the guy who gave the Emiru the uncomfortable hug and vibes walks away scot-free, no charges pressed on him whatsoever. And it wasn't until Emiru and her manager had to talk to the head of security for Amazon and the head of risk for Twitch in a meeting to make sure that that guy was not only, like, banned off the platform, but also taken into custody for, you know, sexual assault. Suffice to say, I'm not happy with the way that was handled. I don't think anybody was happy with the way that was handled. Look, as the platform, as the website that is something to host streaming privileges, I'm not mad at Twitch. I'm mad at the people that Twitch had hired for it. The security guards did nothing about the situation. It was spoken about by Emiru that the security guards basically laughed at the situation and dismissed it entirely. You know, because they don't get paid enough for this shit, apparently, to care, or to do anything for that matter. And the fact that the current CEO of Twitch was trying to basically play cleanup on this whole bunch of stuff, despite the fact that he was mostly seen partying it up over at the TwitchCons instead of, you know, actually taking this legitimately seriously. Those are the people I'm currently disappointed in. They made statements on social media, Twitch, about, hey, we're taking this as seriously as we can, and the people involved in it do nothing to take the situation seriously. You can't tell me that you as a platform are not going to hold these people liable for that. I appreciate the platform that is Twitch, but that's if that's the way that the event is going to be held in terms of those standards, that's not an event that's... like, no. No. And not only that, from a whole bunch of content that has been out there, and you can look this up on YouTube, look this up on social medias, look over on Emiru's Twitter, Twitch channels, highlights, and stuff like that, and you could basically Google this for all intents and purposes for it. Emiru has been made very vocal before the whole TwitchCon incident. She didn't want to do it. She didn't want to go to the meet and greet, but she kind of had to, because she was contractually obligated by Twitch with her little podcast deal that she had to do the meet and greet. And then she had been made very vocal that this would be the last TwitchCon she would ever be a part of. I don't blame her for saying that. A lot of other top creators on the platform, they're like, yeah, no, we weren't gonna go to TwitchCon because we are very uncomfortable with the vibes over there. You know, what with the people who are gonna harass, the people who are gonna make things very extremely awkward and weird, or the fact that Kick and other IRL live streamers are, without consent, recording everybody who's at the event and just pushing all the content in front of them when they just want to enjoy the vibes. You know, those people. God damn it, guys, we're just trying to enjoy a convention. Not everything needs to be about content. Unless there are specific places in the convention for said content only. Like, it's half the reason why I don't go to conventions as often as I do anymore. Because here's the thing. Years ago, before I even got into streaming or the content creation platform, the reason I would go to conventions was to get advice on how to better myself in the acting space, to be a better actor, voice actor, however you want to, and to train my craft. That's usually why I went over there, because I would pay to learn from the best. Always. Nowadays, anything like that, it's just going to these kinds of things. I could just Google or tune into a live stream, and everybody who's going to be active and participating, I could just learn from them that way. I can watch their content and just get the general vibe of what I can do better. Because I always want to get better at everything that I do. And conventions felt like the right environment to have that, where I could make those kinds of connections, where I could get to know some of those kinds of people and do the work that I can, and make like, say, this live stream and whatnot. Having the ability to live stream and entertain you guys was one of the things I was kind of curious about. And I would have, and had I saved up the money to go to TwitchCon, I would have done absolutely everything in my power to make those kinds of connections and say, hey, what can I do to be better here in this live stream? Especially if that involves, like, cultivating this awesome community that I've got here. But after the situations that have happened to several content creators that most of the top people don't go to because they feel unsafe, the top people that do go and get, you know, harmed in the meanwhile and feel even more unsafe, it's not a vibe I want to surround myself with. And I can't in good conscience go to any of these sorts of events while that's happening, you know? Main reason I haven't gone back to TwitchCon. Exactly! Like, I don't want to go to TwitchCon anymore, because if that's the kind of vibe and attitude for, like, security purposes and the safety of your creators, why the fuck would I go to somebody who doesn't appreciate that, you know? KB, Camilla Bombets, who's over on, who has streamed on Twitch, more along the line streams on, like, the fan of Sly, if y'all get that reference for it. She went to TwitchCon over the course of the weekend, and one of the things that they've tried to get her to do was, she's very private of her, like, her real identity, understandably so, has, like, a face mask to make sure that nobody knows who she is when they find out who she is, and they're trying to force remove her mask for security purposes out in the open without a designated, like, place to keep people safe. It's fucked up, really. There are plenty of conventions on a smaller scale that are way more open and welcoming to have safety of people, the creators, and con goers in mind for that, and I would love if people were to take it as seriously as those, to make sure that whatever happens over there, we will take this 100% seriously. Just to make sure that, hey, we're gonna have ourselves a chill time and whatnot, but if anybody's gonna be over here pulling off an Emiru situation, trying to, you know, get to a content creator and, like, hog their face in with their lips, or whatever excuse of a lips they're going to try to use, then perfect. But if you're not gonna do that, don't go to the con. Or be like me, don't go to the con for your own personal safety. You know, you know, the good stuff. Be safe. Be safe in where you go. What was even worse during all that, too, from what I heard from a whole bunch of TwitchCon, is that several of the meet and greets for certain content creators that were quote-unquote canceled, but weren't even canceled during the middle of that, had security take away, like, the items that they wanted to give to them at the meet and greets and disposed of them. That's something that hurts me from hearing it as well. I can't even, like, why? But on the bright side, there was one other thing that Twitch got right. The fact that they donated, like, $100,000 to the Immune Deficiency Foundation for Iron Mouse's behalf, that was awesome of them. I remember seeing Twitch's tweet where if you reserve for a meet and greet, you can no longer bring your registered +1s. Yeah, that was definitely one of those things. As a streaming platform, Twitch, you have a lot of great tools. You have a lot of great implementations. You have a community that is, for the most part, very open, welcoming, and very open arms with everything, and I appreciate that. But if you do not protect the safety of your streamers, none of them are gonna fucking support you. If you're not gonna support them up front and take all this bullshit seriously, like behind the scenes, and have a lot of those streamers come up front and say, hey, you clearly don't care about us, what are we doing here, you know?